Gentlemen, to the Daily Low with your hosts. The clock is right twice every day, and the agitator, Tone Vase. Good morning, Tone. How are you, mate?
I am freezing my ass off in El Salvador.
That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense, but uh, as a former geologist that has done interviews on the upcoming pole shift, it actually does make sense. But
Right. Well, let's listen, agitator. Let's not upset all the other geologists watching. You've got no one left to upset, Tone. You've antagonized everybody across the world, from politics to Bitcoin to now geologists. Let's not pick a fight with anybody else, eh?
yeah, Jesus Christ. Yeah, no, it is unreasonably cold here. I mean, the entire planet is experiencing a freaking cold front. But other than that, the conference ended. I had interviews, keynotes, debates, and it feels like 2017 all over again. Holy shit. Hey, if it brings viewers to this channel,
So
I'm
be it.
all for it.
We've got a group chat for the Black Box company, right? And somebody put a post like of Tone getting like fucking roasted, even by the mechanic. I saw mechanic do a viewing of your show, of your speech,
Yeah,
and the conference, right?
amateurs. They're doing like rebuttals to my keynote.
Hmm.
Amateurs compared to Bcash and BSV. They need to go back, watch all of them, and then come back with some real heat on analyzing what I say.
Right, right. But to the point, like the boys in the group are like, "Geez, Tone, you're in the firing line here." And I made the comment like, I I knew Tone, before I knew you. When I started watching you in 2000 and late 2017, early 2018, you were the agitator. You were the agitator, and I like the notoriety of you being the agitator. I think more power to you, brother. Hey, we shouldn't go any further. We got to go into the charts. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I'm gonna let you go first. I'm curious if you have any trades on at the moment.
Well, I mean, I've been trading up a goddamn storm in the last 3 weeks. I've been absolutely crushing it, right? But and I mean, I can show you. I mean, some of the trades I've been making have just been phenomenal, right? Like I've just been where we can best way to view this trade history, um, trade
Oh,
performance.
since you're showing your actual trading account, and before you get into your actual trade history, well, first of all, try not to dox anything sensitive, and
Mm.
second, guys, I know I would not be doing the show with Matt if I wasn't 110% sure he's trading real money, and this is not, like a demo account pretending to be real money.
Yeah, thanks, Tone. I mean, yeah. I like you and I have been
Like,
close
like,
to income, you know that.
like many other trading influencers have gotten caught doing this shit and photoshopping their trades.
Yeah, I don't want to this is not huge money, but I've just been consistently grinding out profits daily, um, in a bear market, which is very satisfying to me in general. Even I made a big mistake and lost 2 grand, and then I've just rallied it thereafter. This again, once again, not big money, but for 2 weeks ago, starting this account, despite my bad f up, I'm trying to grind out a consistent, like, $1,500 a week profit, and so far in 2.5 weeks, it's been that. So I'm very satisfied on my end. But this is
Yeah.
a really cool.
Matt's an Aussie in Japan, and that's like just beer money because
Yeah,
between between the Tokyo being expensive and all they do is drink beer, and he's an Aussie, that will just cover his beer tab.
yeah, and I own my house and all my cars and everything like that. I sold Bitcoin at a good price, and so if I can grind out $1,500 a week for 5 minutes work a day trading, I'm sound as a pound, man. Like, because the big money trade, which is here, we're looking at the charts now, is what I'm really looking for. Is I cashed out at 117 on my trading account. and I made 3 attempts here, which was it failed, and I profited on this one, but I only really made back the money that I lost on those failed attempts. I'm still fully in cash here. This is big money trading, not like smaller money trading like I showed you before. And I've been like hounding the fact that I want to buy on a weekly green diamond, and oh man, we are close. That's why at the start of the show I called myself the clock that's right twice a day, a broken clock that's right twice a day. I've been on this. I've been saying the same thing since. I reckon I've been saying it since like 115,000 that I'm waiting for a weekly green diamond. And oh boy, we are really in the range that we could get that weekly green diamond. And I will just load up all that Bitcoin I sold at 117. We'll just get fully reallocated into Bitcoin at that point. Let's go into the charts. I hate where the price is right now. This double bottoming pattern, I think, is bad. Last week was terrible, absolutely terrible. I put that line in one of the shows last week when the price was wherever it was. I think the price had rallied somewhat and we were about 90,000. I said, look, if whatever, we break that black line at 86,800, and I think it'll blow down. We closed that last week below that line, and we had rallied back up. That's what I said. We had rallied, and I said, look, we've got a little rally off this bad close, but we go back down again. It's good night, Irene. And yeah, Irene was given a good night. It dropped bad. And I still see that, like, any rally that happens this week that doesn't get us above that black line that I drew in at 86,800, I see as a dead cat bounce. I do not see that this washout to have been, it hasn't satisfied me. It hasn't satisfied me because just mute yourself for a second, mate. There's a lot of wind. It hasn't satisfied me because we haven't got a weekly green diamond while we're still so close. The rally, even if we come back to touch on the 7 simple moving average, which is a throwback to the breakdown point, which was at that black line at 86, not excited at all. The oscillators, I'm not impressed at all. The Copic curve is still rounding, so I'm still in the mindset that like one more bad week and we might be able to stitch this thing up with a big flash crash. The RSI still looks like it needs to get oversold. I'm not impressed there. That Copic curve where I didn't take that trade. I thought that was not satisfying enough. It rallied off there, and that was a good call. It did rally from the cross on one of these candles in the last few weeks, maybe 2 months ago, and it rallied somewhat, but I didn't think that it had blown down far enough. I said that on the show numerous times, but that has now crossed again negative, not good. And the MACD, which looked like it was rounding a couple of weeks ago and had potential, has now flatlined down. Silver lining is that had you been watching this show and had you followed, my opinion on the market, this show's not about me. I'm just, sing while you're winning. I say this wave turned red back on this candle back here on, I can't see what that date is, on the week of the 6th of October, and I've been bearish ever since. It's been so far so good. The modified lucid star is coming down like a stone. I just think that we're going to get a buy in a lower area, and I really honestly think I've been doing this lately, Tone. I've been giving all my analysis on one show, and then tomorrow I don't want to do a show because I gave too much away in one thing. I should probably just give a less away. The green diamond on the weekly, which you can see on that candle right there, which is at the low. The previous one prior to that is at the historic crash in 2018, which you can see on this candle right here. And there's only ever been one before that, which is way back here on in 2015. I still think that we're going to get one of those where I'll be screaming from the rooftops, this is what we're looking for, boys. A weekly green diamond in that wave. All right. I don't want to do any more analysis. Otherwise, I'll have nothing to talk about for the rest of the week. You know how I feel. I always say the same thing. I've been saying the same thing for 3 months. It's getting boring at this point. the 4 hour time frame, I can see a rally coming back to touch the 30 at 81. I don't care. I think they'll all get shorted. I think all of these rallies will get pumped down until we get a full blown washout. This is just rise and fall, rise and fall, rise and fall over and over again until we get significant washout. Coming back to you in the studio, Tone, as I said, mate, if I could talk for hours about this, but then there's no reason to do a show for the rest of the week. So I'm gonna end it there. So I've got something else to talk about later on. Hey, please like, subscribe, please share it with your friends. Get inside the Discord group because I'm going to be setting up live copying in there with all of the trades that I've been making. I'm going to make that available to just a one click, and you can pony on to all of my trades. I think it's a terrific idea. I think you should be following the work that is being put in on your behalf inside that Discord group. Tone, what are you seeing, mate?
All right, let me jump onto charts. I wasn't actually sure where to begin today's like analysis. As you were talking, I was deciding where am I gonna start, and I think I'm gonna start with the correlation to the S&P 500. So the S&P 500 is rallying very nicely this morning. The all-time high in the S&P 500 is at this red line. That's the all-time high based on daily closing futures candles. It happens to be on the futures market. I'm sure the cash market in the S&P is very, very similar. Now, because this is not the latest candle close, I'm gonna, for trading purposes, this is the high. Because if the candle closes above making a new local high, I am 99.9% certain we're gonna break the high from early January, right? Like, I mean, that's my level of certainty, 99.9%. Okay, in this particular case, because they're so close. So this massive rally in the S&P is helping bring Bitcoin up. Having said that, do I think the bottom is in? Absolutely not. There is, in our last show that we did, or I did, I don't remember if you were on with me in the
No,
last
you were on Friday because you didn't message me because you thought Friday was Saturday or some shit.
Yeah. That is true. I literally said we had a daily red star candle, a weekly red star candle, and a monthly red star candle all at the same time. And it was as bearish as Bitcoin could possibly get. And what happened over the weekend? A complete and utter collapse, right? The Bitcoin is not any different today than it was on Friday. The only difference is the daily is not on a red star candle anymore, right? But the daily is like 4 days away from an MRI buy candle. And if we keep going down, well, right now we're at a double bottom. And what does Tone say about double bottoms? This is the least likely place for me to buy the dip is at a double bottom, okay? So back here, the swing low was just under 75 and the close was just over 76. What do we have right now? The swing low is just under 75 and the low is just over 76. They could not be any more double bottom than a textbook double bottom, okay? This makes me very skeptical that this is the low for 2026. I think the low for 2026 will still come. However, we are in a back to yet another dead cat bounce. And since I missed the last dead cat bounce on an exit at 90, even though I talked about it, I'm going to do my best not to miss the current dead cat bounce exit right in this box. So this box, which I have been talking about since last year, is now more important than ever because now it is the mother of 2026 resistance. Okay, this is the resistance. It has moving averages. It has multiple support levels, and the longer it takes to get there for the dead cat bounce, the more likely you're going to have a crucial 128-day moving average doing this like it did back in October with the MRI top as well. So this is as bad of a situation as it gets off the dead cat bounce back into that $86,000 area. Where is the potential low? You have a chance at 71. Below
Why?
71,
Why?
uh, because of this. Because it was very strong resistance back here, and it would mark a lower low and also time.
Can you
As
flick
we,
on the daily? Can you flick? Oh, sorry, the weekly for a second. The
yeah,
weekly.
that's exactly where I was just about to go.
Exactly. Yeah.
On the weekly, that 71 is here again, and I'm not sure why it extends all the way back here. I guess 69 is close to 71, but this is an area we were supposed to back test back in April, and we missed it. Remember, if anyone goes back to these April shows, you would have heard me say how much I would have wanted to see this MRI buy candle actually crash and then rebound the day after, giving me the most perfect buy on the MRI buy at 71. It just happened a week earlier than I hoped, and $3,000 higher than I hoped. And
And it was saved by the 50 simple moving average there as well, which is brilliant. Do you know? This is a different beast here.
this is a very different beast, and it's a way more dangerous beast.
Yeah.
And we still have that same level as reasonable support. We also have the MRI support line from 2024, along with the 200-week moving average at 60.
Yeah, I like
That
that. I like
is,
that.
I like it as well, except another double bottom at 55,
Right.
right?
Right.
So that is minorly concerning. But
I like it. I'm sorry to cut you off. This is an exciting show. I like that 50 simple moving average for a
200, not
for
50,
yeah,
200.
sorry, excuse me, 200. But I like that for 3 seconds.
Yes.
3 seconds. Yeah. That only 10 traders in the world will be able to buy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Now, keep in mind, like, traders have to realize something. While the price of Bitcoin finally, for the first time, fell below the 200 period moving average back in 2022 and went back above it in 2023, there is something the 200 period moving average has never done, and that is decline. The 200-day moving average has only been upward trending. If we fall below the 200-week moving average, this time, the 200-day moving average will be on a downtrend for the first time in Bitcoin's history.
That's why I said I feel like if we got to that point, people will be like, Bitcoin's gone to zero, and I'll be buying like hell, man. Like, that'll come down, green diamond, but it has to be quick. It has to be quick. I know it would be the perfect washout for me. I would like a flash crash to the 200, give me a weekly green diamond, and then bounce like to 60,000 in like 5 minutes.
I don't want to turn this video into a mountain of pessimism.
Well, I think I've been
But
positive, eh?
but here's the but. Um, was it on this show? Were you on? I think it was another solo show when I went on a little rant saying that, at the end of last year, I did not see any fundamental reason that would drag Bitcoin below 70,000 until the user activated soft fork started getting some kind of traction,
Yeah.
right? And I still believe this. However, when I said this, I was still I still didn't see a reason that would drag Bitcoin below, say, 50 or 30,000 because um, I had confidence that um, the I don't want to say the core side because I'm not really all that pro core, but the
Mm,
core side would prevail
mm,
over what I consider a UASF attack on the protocol. However, over the last few days, with the Epstein emails being fuel to the fire and the core developers and the companies that funded core development being um, put through the coals
mm.
for email conversations with Epstein, even though they probably had no idea who Epstein was, other than the fact it's a rich guy that you can get money from. I think this is an additional catalyst that can really fuck up Bitcoin's confidence, leading to significantly lower prices that I thought were possible. So now, even though I really don't think Bitcoin is going to crash to sub $10,000 level, I see in front of my eyes a fundamental reason why it could.
Mm.
Does that make sense?
It does, and I I'm just a trader, right, and just an analyst by part time. I don't pay any attention to that. I think that I think that we'll get all of our information from price action, but I hate speculations on long sides and short sides. I've just ignoring this whole thing, mate. This whole argument. I don't care. I don't want to know about it. I just want it done.
Well, I still have. I'm gonna give it another. I'm gonna give it the rest of this month to battle in the trenches of save. I don't want to say like I'm saving people, right? I'm gonna stay in this fight for one more month to
Mm.
say everything I have to say on the
Record.
attack about the attack on the Bitcoin protocol, and uh, starting in March, by March, I should complete everything I have to say. I don't think there will be any new revelations. I don't think there will be anything more to say. I'm already scraping the bottom of the barrel on Knott's, thought leaders that I respect. There's a few left if they're willing to come on my personal channel to try and explain to me why they're taking such a stupid position. But I'm willing
They
to listen.
they hate
Um,
you, dude. They
I don't
hate
I,
you.
I care about that.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, like, but that's the thing. Like, the people that hate me are anonymous cats on Twitter. Like, I don't really care.
Mm,
Um,
right.
so there is a handful of people that I still respect that I'm told are pro knots. These are people like Nick Szabo, Jorge Timon, maybe Matt Hill of Start Nine, even though like we're really cursing at each other. But I'm willing to listen to people that have actually built something in the space and have a technical expertise with some coding skills. I'm willing to listen to these people, but I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel here on their existence because there aren't any of these people. Okay. Now, once we do a few more shows with Jimmy Song, I will be done with this debate. And the next time I'm coming back is to do an epic live stream for like 8 hours covering the fork as Maxi Coin comes into existence and these people spin off the network with their shitcoin and they can claim they are the guardians of the Bitcoin protocol with a shitcoin that's trending to zero, just like Bcash and BSV. I'll be back to cover that. But I will go back to my life of continuing to do the show. Maybe build out something with help out Black Box, like and focus a little more on that as one of your advisors, and start my health, wellness, and longevity channel. You know, and try to settle down somewhere as a normie living a normal life. So that's kind of anyway. Well, we're getting way off topic here, but I'm still in the trenches for another month because I have more shit to say.
Can I throw a question at you,
Yeah.
Tone? Question without notice here. The drop that we had last week on silver and gold, do you claim that you were right? Because you were getting hounded in the chat for your silver call, and it dropped 30%.
Yeah. Um. Okay. Great question, man. Great question. I was absolutely 110% right. However, being right and being able to time a profitable trade are two very different things. Was I right? Yes. Was I able to execute a proper trade and profit from the fact that I was right? No.
Yeah, fair play. Yeah.
Okay. Now, there is the difference between me being right on gold and silver and someone like a Peter Schiff or another gloom and doomer being right on their views is that they are only right once a year. I was only off by a month. That's the difference, right? Like claiming that the real estate market is gonna crash and it crashing 6 years later, right? Is It's hard to claim that you were right, right? Or claiming that there'll be a great 50% stock market crash and it happened twice in the last 25 years. It's hard to claim that you were right, okay? Because especially when you say it every day. And
Well,
what did
like
I say?
here, this
Yeah.
question here, like I just posted it here. Your silver call was very bad for your reputation, but you were a great trader and got out with minimal loss. I mean,
No, I think
Tony and
no,
I,
I think it's the opposite. I think it's the complete
yeah,
opposite of that statement, right?
yeah, I
I,
think so
I would
too.
say my call was
Mm.
excellent. My trade was terrible.
Yeah, and you and I spoke. We spoke off camera because we speak every day. Obviously, we're best mates, right? But I remember saying to you one, like you said to me, like, I'm going to close this short trade. It's still rallying, and I said, Tone, you're going to be right on this trade at some point in the next few months. You will be right. I think you're right on this trade. It's just when to pick it, right? And you've just put your hand up and said right now, openly and for all our viewers, that you were right, but you didn't pick it. I mean, that's as honest as you can get, right? It's as transparent as you can get. That's exactly what you said to me, and it's exactly what you said again now. Tone's the same off camera as he is on camera. This is what you said.
Right. So basically, I took the big short on silver at this MRI top. but it should have been on this samurai top,
Mm.
right? And because it crashed so quickly and at the worst possible time, where I was on a little tiny airplane, like praying for my life, I shorting silver was not on my priority list.
You're right. And I remember when we had that conversation was on that where you did the short on that weekly time frame, I guess it was when the green star candle came in and it breached the entry point that you had, and that was it. And you're like, oh, I'm out of this trade. No harm, no foul. I think you were still right. And I said
Now,
that to you.
now also remember, I and people were making fun of me when, especially looking at the gold chart. I've always said gold is the leader, silver is the follower. I've always said that. Silver is more volatile. I was, greedy. I wanted to profit from silver, but silver was topping on the monthly candle before gold was. And what did I keep saying? Like silver was already topped like here in November, like October, November. But I'm saying gold hasn't topped yet. And to me, what is a top? To me, on a monthly scale, remember, this is a yearly top in gold as well. There was a yearly top in gold right here. That means that gold can top last year, this year, or oh, sorry, this is last year now. It can top like 2 years ago in 24, in 25, or in 26. But the monthly chart said that gold will top in November, December, or January. So even though I kept trying to time it on a daily scale, I kept saying the top is a 3 month window. And then smart people in the comments saying, oh, so it's not a top then because it's a 3 month window. Yes, because we're dealing with a monthly chart. There's a 3 month topping window. And the top came on the last day of the third month.
Yep. Sure did. Sure did. All right, let's wind this up. This has been 32 minutes. We've got to have something else to talk about in the rest of the week.
Right. And yes, I do believe that gold is not going to break this top in 2026. Now, I can be proven wrong next week, but I believe gold and silver have topped for at least a year, possibly for the next 8 years. Like the last time gold and silver had an exponential rise. Now,
Mm.
that could easily be proven wrong. I don't think it topped for 8 years, but I think this is a significant top, and I don't expect it to be broken in precious metals in 2026. 27, possibly. 28, very possibly. 29, very likely. Okay. Any other markets we need to cover? Let's look at how Bitcoin is rebounding, and then we're going to call it a day. And Bitcoin is still going up. To me, this is a dead cat bounce into 85,000. And if we break above 85,000, I will consider it a miracle. And the
Agreed.
only way we're breaking 85,000 is if there is unanimous um, consensus viewpoint that BIP 110 and the user activated soft fork is dead. And this is the mission I'm on for the next 28 days, 26 days. February is midget month.
I agree, mate. I agree. I see the same way that you said to me that if we rally back into your box on the weekly time frame, that you will look to exit Bitcoin. I I have a finger on the pulse that there's a lot of people thinking the same thing, in fact. And so I see this as a dead cat bounce just because we've had such an overextension to the downside.
Yep. I want to look at one last thing because someone asked nicely the Mexican peso, which I can't freaking find. There it is, USD Mexican peso. the Mexican peso is actually doing very, very well. I thought that it could, devalue a bit. So someone is saying they're buying a house in Mexico, but I don't know if you're converting dollars into Mexican pesos. If you, I mean, you're better off buying a house in the U.S. with Mexican pesos than buying a house in Mexico with U.S. dollars. This is a very strong chart to me, and I see the Mexican peso continuing to strengthen against the U.S. dollar.
Well,
I'm
I think everything will
bullish on
strengthen it
Mexico.
again. Everything's going to strengthen against the US dollar soon, immediately.
Um,
Look
I
at the yen. Look at the yen. This is it's the yen effect, mate. It's coming. Japan is critical right now. The carry
Japan's never.
trade. It's
Uh,
always critical.
it's never critical.
Japan can sink America, mate. Japan is hypercritical right now.
Um, I mean, the Japanese yen looks like it's going to devalue more.
I don't think so.
I mean, I this is a very bearish chart for the Japanese yen. Okay, so I'm sorry. It says dollars and yen. I think the yen is going to devalue. Yes, I mean, like, look, you're gonna go against your own phantom candle.
Yep. I think because it's got nothing to do with charting. I think it's gonna. I don't like speculating, but I think that you'll see a a depreciation of the US dollar versus yen in the next few months.
That's not what this chart is telling me, but we will see. I mean, I see this as yen devaluing against the dollar. Yes, there's an MRI coming, but it's in consolidation. Moving averages are catching up, and I think the yen's going to do this.
I don't use charts to look at currencies. I just don't think that there's anything there. For me, because policy can change it in a second. Do you know?
See, to me, the U.S. dollar is more devaluing against the BRICS than it is, and places like Mexico, uh, than against other Western nations. I think Western nations are in shittier shape than the U.S. And anyway, we'll
This
talk about it in the future. We'll keep an eye on it.
We will. And this is this little comment here from our good friend Curry. I just took my glasses off. Look, this is the key from my side of this argument. What a blessing to buy Bitcoin under 80,000. We'll look back at this and regret not buying more here, brother. I'm all with you. I would agree completely, except for I think that there's one more push lower, and otherwise, my sentiments with you. This show might sound negative today. I'm not negative at all. I'm very positive of the opportunity to do what you've just outlined there, my friend.
Well, whatever this stock is, I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole, so be careful. Maybe on an MRI buy monthly if it goes below $20.
Yeah, you're a braver man than I. All right, let's go.
All right, we're done.
All right, let's get out of here.
Oh my god, I forgot how to turn off screen share. Nice.
Tomorrow night, I will be at the boxing in Tokyo, so I won't be able to do a show. Two of my sparring partners are headlining a fight in a main event and co-main event, and there's another guy from the gym as well who's on the card. So tomorrow, Tone, I won't be available. I got this new Reyes helmet, but I might have to send it back. I think I can get a bigger size. Thank you for watching today's show. It's always appreciated when you're here. I just reiterate the point. I think that the weekly green diamond is what we all are looking for, and I think that you'll thank me later.
You're breaking up. Later, guys.
All right, Tone, what is happening? See you on Wednesday.
Bye, guys.
Thank you for joining.
Yep. See you Wednesday. Good luck. Don't break your nose again. Later, guys.